How's it going, everybody? It's my bad here with another bad review. Now today we're going to be reviewing the Axial knives Shift in CPM S35VN with a clip point blade. It's got the red anno right here. The actuator button doesn't exactly have podium jimping, but it's got a pretty decent jimping. It is kind of podium style, it's just not as defined, it's smaller, it's a lot more grippier. If my camera can focus in on it, you'll be able to see it a lot better. There you go, you saw it for a second. Anyways, what comes in the box is of course the knife. The knife comes in the box, it's very, very slim. It's fit and finish on it is pretty decent. I only got a couple of gripes on the fit and finish, and I have been using this quite often. I love the American flag right here, lets you know that it's made in the USA. I wish that I could get that to focus in on it better. But anyways, also got the Axial design right there. My only gripes are on the inside of the blade. You probably cannot see it very well, but there's a small crack where those two come in together. And when you deploy it, of course, this is on any OTF, you're going to have that up and down side to side blade play. But when I pull the knife up, right there in the bottom, you can see like a 1 1/64 inch little gap. I mean, it's like the most minuscule gap there is, but I almost stabbed myself. That gap is the reason for the up and down play, in my opinion. It might not be. It bit me, but that's alright. You play with knives, every once in a while you're gonna get cut. Anyways, it's a wonderful knife, got great action. I can make it fail, and I can show you the 3 different ways to re-engage it. So, just pull that back, make it fail. Well, it just engaged itself already. That's how easy it is. But that's not what I was getting at. So, it's let it drop in there, and it's back to work. Yeah, it just dropped back in there. It's hard to keep not engaged, but anyways. You can sling it out, and it's back in there. And then, of course, the old-fashioned way, just pulling on the knife straight out, and it's back to business. So that's 3 ways that you can get it back to being redeployed. Now, I'm going to tell you about what's in the box. You got the regular cover right here, the outside sleeve. It's got the Axial design. It's got the Shift watermark on the box. Very, very nice. Very, very elegant. Then you have the box. Axial on front. You flip this part open, and on the inside, this knife would be in this pouch. Now I don't know if this is going to come with every Axial, but you got this fiber cloth cleaning cloth in it, and it comes in a little bitty baggie that you can stuff back in to the baggie. And now it's compact. Got the Axial designs, spuds. It's called a spuds cloth. And then after that, you got your thank you card. It's thank you from the CEO of Axial for purchasing his knives, whether you're on your first, second, or third Axial knife. You got your quality control card. Tells you all what all they checked before it got shipped out. It's even signed by the actual QC manager that was managing this knife. He might not be the manager of the whole quality control, but you understand what I'm saying. And this one was done on 7/27 before it shipped to me. And then you got the user care manual, and inside of it you have things like routine maintenance right there. your operations manual, how to operate the knife. And right here is where you can go register your Axial. And when you register your Axial, it will make your warranty a lot smoother if you ever have to send your knife in for anything. And I'll get to what we're sending our knives in for, because they have a wonderful warranty at Axial. It's a lifetime warranty, as long as you don't literally dick your knife up on purpose by throwing it up against a brick wall or slamming it on some concrete or doing some dumb stuff that you ought not to be doing in the first place. They will give you a lifetime warranty and replace anything for free. Another thing is that you can get replacement parts, most of them for free. If something on the inside it needs to be replaced, you can actually replace it yourself. Axial does not have a problem with you taking apart the knife, as long as you put it back together the way it's supposed to be doing. They're not going to void your warranty for taking apart and doing routine maintenance on your knife. And that is something wonderful that Axial does that other OTF brands don't have the cojones or the it-logs to do. And I appreciate that a lot, because I would like to get inside of this, and if I happen to misplace or do something wrong with my knife, then that should be my fault and my problem. But if I'm a semi-competent owner of the Axial shift and I take this knife apart and I put it back together correctly, then it shouldn't void my warranty either. So I do like that. Another thing that they'll do is if you break your blade or snap your blade in half, they'll replace the blade free. And there's a lifetime sharpening as well. So you can send your knife into Axial if you don't want to dick up your blade, and they'll sharpen it for you. So to get on the specs of this, the overall length is about 8.2 inches or 8.19 inches. Might as well just go ahead and shorten it up to 8.2. A lot easier to remember. The blade is 3.3 inches. The sharpening edge is 3.25 inches. The thickness of the blade is 0.125 of an inch thick. This style is a clip point, like I said earlier. They also come in daggers. This stonewash right here is a PVD coating. Now personally, I don't believe that S35VN or 20CV, and especially 20CV, needs any kind of coating. It's basically a stainless steel and it'll hold an edge forever. That's one of the best steels you can get, according to some people, is that 20CV. I would personally prefer the S35VN. That's the reason why I got an S35VN, and I sent my boys Salty Red Corn an S35VN. The handle length on this is 4.95 inches, almost 5 inches long. So it's 4.9. I got medium to large size hands. I can grip this just fine. They're chunky boys, but they're not long. The thickness on it is basically a half inch. The specs say 0.47 of an inch. The handle material is aluminum, of course. This is good for righties or lefties. You can switch the pocket clip around, I'm sure, because you can see the back end of the pocket clip right here, and there's the pocket clip screw. You just take that out, flip that over to this side, and now it's a left-handed knife. Right now it's in a configuration for a righty. And it's all, of course, tip down carry, but if this was a folder, that would be considered tip up, because you're still pulling it from the same direction as a tip-up carry for a folder. There's also a sale going on right now until the, well, today's the last day, I believe. I believe it's until the 28th. It might be until the 29th. So I might have screwed up by not remembering that one. I read it like twice just so I'd remember it. But the sale's going on from the 28th to the 29th. Or the 29th, I can't remember which one. And this is a shift bundle. Right now, the lowest price for the shift is $199.99. But if you do the bundle, you'll get the shift, a pry bar, a torque set, a knife, OTF lube, and a mat. And I don't know if this is going to be commonplace to come in with all of the knives, it came with mine, but they're also throwing in a Spuds cloth. All for $199. That's the same price as this for the whole bundle. Now, when I bought this was, I think, $170. So Axial's starting to go up on their prices, so right now might be the time to get the Axials, and before they start hitting that $300 mark like your Microtechs, because this is pretty close, in my opinion, to Microtech quality, especially the way that it feels. There's a little bit of twang in the spring, but for the most part, the materials that they're using and the looks and the fit and finish and everything is pretty close to Microtech, and I do enjoy that. I would say the pros, we'll go the good, bad, and ugly, since I'm an old spaghetti western fan anyways. So the good at the time that I bought this was the price. I still believe that $200 or $199.99 is a reasonable price for this. I have my own opinions on the level of price that it can get to before I start not being a fan. It's not to that price yet. I would still buy one of these for $200. And I'm not going to share my opinions on what the upper end price for this would be. But right now, I believe that this is still a bargain, even at $200. And the Dart, the California legal one, is at $189.99, I believe. And that's not a horrible price for that one either. Even though I don't own one, I may one day, because I don't know why I'd go to California, but if I ever did go to California, I think OTF would be pretty cool to carry around. So I might grab one of those. So the good on it would be the price. The good on it's the fit and finish. I love this ano on this outside. It seems to be tough. It seems like some ano that you really cannot mess up that bad. If I drop it on this concrete or something, it might have a scuff or two on it, but I can pretty much rub it out and I wouldn't have no problem doing it. The good, the actuation button. It is smooth, it is light. I do not fear it going off in my pocket. It's still tough enough that it wouldn't do that. The materials of the blade. Usually a lot of OTFs used to use D2 or CPM 154, which there's nothing wrong with D2 or CPM 154, and especially CPM 154. One of my favorite blade steels, one of my favorite budget blade steels is D2, but D2 shouldn't be in a knife that's 200 plus. Shouldn't be in a knife that's 100 plus, really. This uses S35VN and 20 CV. I'm a big fan of S35VN, great all around blade steel. I prefer a tough blade and a blade that has decent edge retention. I'm not so much on the corrosion resistance of a blade. I would love to see these in an M4 or an Maximum, something like that. That'd be cool. I like the little fullers on another thing on the good. The blade shape on this is good. The blade shape on the daggers are excellent. I want a dagger. I want an all blacked out dagger, and that's probably the next one that I'm going to get myself. This is going to be my Saturday knife, my Woo Pig knife. For when we're at games, I'm going to pair this up with a Paramilitary 2 and in M390. M390 would be a great, but 20 CV is pretty close to M390 already. On the bad, like I said, the only two things that I could say on the bad is that small little crack right there in between the fit, in between the two places where they go together, and that little bit of play right there, which I'm sure that I'm griping a little bit too much about that. That's probably just the nature of the business, considering this is only the third OTF I've ever owned. I would not consider myself an expert on OTFs regardless. The ugly, I gotta be honest with you, to me there is no ugly. I've enjoyed this knife. I've had it for about a month now. I've carried it probably 7 or 8 days out of that month. I have used this knife for different things. In the kitchen, at work, around the yard, cutting cardboard, whatever. Haven't sharpened the blade yet. And she's still shaving all day long. If you want a good USA blade for a decent price that's not Microtech stupid prices, I would go for an Axial, hands down. This ain't a budget knife, but this isn't a stupid expensive knife either. This is a knife that anybody can reach out and grab if they have patience to save up a little bit of money. This would be no problem getting. I'm enjoying it. I believe that I'm going to be a repeat customer. I might own 3, 4, 5 of these by the time I'm done. Hopefully they'll come out with some more blade shapes. Maybe a Warncliffe, maybe some serrated knives, fully serrated knives. That'd be cool. I would like to see a bigger, tougher, beefier model. This could be like their standout Ultratech model. That's what I would assume it would be. The Dart, of course, is their California legal model, but I would like to see like a serious combat, big boy, beefy model. That would be extremely cool. But to close this out, please like, share, and subscribe to my videos. Comment on my videos. If you want to see me doing something with this knife that's not going to dick up my warranty, I'll consider it. So go ahead and comment and tell me what you'd like to see me do with this knife. I'm my bad. Appreciate y'all watching. Goodbye.